Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your boy TeflonJohn coming to you courtesy of the I Am TeflonJohn brand. And today we're going to talk about stop relying on other people to get to your destination. One thought that comes to mind is that old show, that old movie. Sometimes it's a stage play, The Wizard of Oz. You got Dorothy, you got the Scarecrow, you got the Lion, you got the Tin Man. And they're off to see the wizard to try to get certain attributes: courage, heart, bravery, brains. Whatever it is, they were off to see the wizard, right? So they go through this long journey. And when they finally get there to see the wizard, and they went through crazy hell and high water, right? But when they got to see the wizard, it was a man behind the curtain hitting buttons. It was just a guy controlling the lights, right? It was the guy controlling the skeptical. And I said that to say this, that in your life, you're going through to a certain destination and someone's controlling it. Someone's hitting the buttons. Who is that person that's in your ear pushing you to do a certain thing that you know you don't want to do? Who is that person putting that talk in your ear, forcing you to go down a path that you know that you shouldn't go down? Are you off to see the wizard? Because the funny thing is, at the end of the journey, when they realized that the wizard wasn't real, it was the journey that gave them courage. It was the journey that gave them heart. It was the journey that gave them brain, enough intellect. Right? It was the journey how Dorothy found her way home. So what is that saying to you? Right? What is that saying to you as a human being? The journey is worth more than the people that you're relying on to get you there. I'm going to say that again. The journey is worth more in weight, is worth more in value than the people that you're relying on to get you there. So many times in today's society, we put people on a pedestal. We elevate them, right? We anoint them in our lives. And this is something that we've done. And some people see that and they manipulate the situation, right? You've shown them how important they are to you. You've showed them how scarce other people are in your life. So guess what? They manipulate the situation to get out of you what they want. And in return, sometimes they'll steer you away from your destiny. Now, I'm not trying to be a skeptic or anything, but sometimes people will steer you away from what they know you were meant to do on purpose. I'm just keeping it real with you. Some people will steer you away from what you were meant to do, steer you away from your dreams, steer you away from your visions, steer you away from your goals, your marriage, your home, your kids, your job, your career on purpose. And some of this is because we've built enough trust in these individuals to where we listen to them. Anything they say is golden. Don't be manipulated. Don't be like Dorothy off to see the wizard. Don't be like Scarecrow off to see the wizard. I want you to see yourself, believe in God and see yourself and trust that you're going to become who you need to be by the end of that journey, that you're going to become who you need to be going through that situation. You're not in it. You're not stuck. You're going through that situation. So I want you to trust in yourself, trust in God, but trust in yourself that you can get it done. Stop relying on other people. God will allow people to come in and out of your life just as much as he allows leaves to grow and fall off trees. Think about it. Some people come in for a season, baby. They're here for a season and then they're gone. They're here for a couple of seasons, then they're gone. Some people will put in your life for a lifetime, but make sure they're not the wizard. Right? Make sure they're not hitting buttons and trying to control you on the back end of that deal. Because so many people, due to today's society, lack of self-awareness, lack of self-value, people are being manipulated and being controlled. And now you're going to fulfill a destiny for someone else. And you're going to get to the end of that yellow brick road and lead to frustration because you're like, man, this is not what I wanted to do. This is not what I wanted to be. This is not who I wanted to be with. This is not the car I wanted to drive. This is not the house I wanted to live in. So you have to be mindful of that, right? And when it comes to that journey, there's nothing wrong with saying no. People will love your yes. They will love your yes, right? They will fall in love with the fact that you're telling them yes, but they will never respect your no. Well, I'll take that back. Some people will respect your no. But it's a large majority of people who have become accustomed to you saying yes and giving in and, get along just to get by type of deal. And they can't respect your no. You got to guard your no. And your no is powerful because when you say no to something, you're keeping all your energy. You're keeping all your time. You're investing in yourself. Yes, it's very expensive, right? Because you're not going to get time back. When you invest that time in something, you're not going to get that back. But a yes is very expensive. So you have to be able to know within yourself that you're on the right path. You have to be able to know within yourself that you are going down the right funnel, right? And the thing about getting in that funnel is you can always weed out. You know what I'm saying? That's what the funnel is for, kind of slow it down, make sure that you only get what you're trying to get. But you can weed out what you don't need. You can weed out who you don't need. So let's stay focused like Dorothy, you know what I'm saying, the Tin Man and the Scarecrow and the Lion. They were off to see a guy that didn't exist. But guess what? They were hyped by other people saying this is what you need to do in order to get what you're after. And for some of you, that may sound familiar. People may be telling you, now, in order to get what you want, that thing out of life, you got to do this. Not everybody's path is the same, baby. I'm going to keep it real with you. Not everybody's path is the same. I'm just being real. Not everybody's path is the same. But you have to accept that. And you have to accept the fact that you're going to make a lot of mistakes along the journey. And if you're afraid to start the journey because you're going to make mistakes, you'll never get there. Part of the journey is making mistakes. The biggest mistake of your life that you can make is not being willing to make a mistake. I'm going to say that one more time. The biggest mistake of your life that you can make is not being willing to make a mistake. Write it down, put it on your refrigerator, put it in your iPhone or whatever cell phone you have. That's the biggest mistake. Because through these failures, if you process it correctly, you're going to learn. You're going to learn. Now, no one likes trial by fire. You know, I will keep it real with you. No one likes trial by fire. But sometimes when there's no resources, sometimes you are put in that situation to come up with a lot of knowledge that you wouldn't have gained getting it from another person. Because when you get your hands burned by the fire, and you know how that felt, and you smelt that burning flesh, it's a difference in how you respect that fire. Now you respect the journey, and you can be more of use to other people that are traveling down the same road that you are traveling down. And I hope this is helping you. You are being more useful to people, being more useful to yourself, being more useful to your family, your friends, your loved ones, your coworkers, whoever you are talking to, you become more of a resource because you had to go through it. All right. Sometimes experience is the best teacher. There's nothing wrong with reading, watching YouTube videos, going on Google search, using ChatGPT, but nothing beats going through that fire for yourself. So when we think about the yellow brick road, it was so, it looked so good. It was shiny. It was gold, yellow. They were traveling down it, you know. And it was crazy because that path looked so attractive. But it wasn't meant for them to go down because what was at the end of the road didn't exist. And sometimes you're on a road right now. You're traveling a journey right now. It looks good. It looks attractive to everyone. That's what everyone's doing. But I'm sorry to tell you is when you get to the end of that, it wasn't meant for you. Because you were meant to travel a journey, sometimes by yourself, sometimes alone, with faith. And through that journey, you're going to get those lessons to be successful. Through that journey, you're going to get those lessons to get to the top. But until you believe in here and in here, you won't move. It's not going to be perfect. Accept the fact that you're going to mess up, that you're going to make mistakes. But as long as you learn from those mistakes and course correct in real time as you evolve, and that's just what it is evolution, you're going to be all right. I got a feeling that you are going to be all right. I can see it. I'm looking right at you. You are going to be okay. We are going to be okay. I'm on this thing with you. I'm on this journey with you. I want to get there just like you want to get there. But it starts in your heart. It starts in your mind. You got to believe it. No one else can believe for you but you. And let me show you what belief looks like. It's walking. You got to take steps. When you believe, you walk. You got to take steps. Nothing wrong with believing from a distance. But true faith is action. True faith is action. Right? And so keep in mind, they were traveling that road, the yellow brick road, because there were fables, there were stories. People were saying, hey, this is how you get there. This is where you want to go. You can get this, you can get that. And when they got to the end of that road, when they got to the end of that journey, sad to say, what they were looking for didn't exist, but it existed in here the entire time. In their hearts, in their heads. So I want you to think about that. As we close, think about that. As I close this episode, think about that. What road are you traveling? Why are you traveling it? And what are you going to do different? Because you want to make sure it's something that you want to do. It should be the path that you want to take. A lot of times you know what path in here, but because of all that's going on, you get discouraged from traveling that because no one else is doing it. And sometimes you got to do that. You got to be a trailblazer, literally, because there's no path. You got to create the path for the next person. So I highly encourage you. You're on the right track. Keep doing what you're doing. Have faith. I highly encourage you. Keep doing what you're doing. As we close this episode of the Art of Reinvention show, it's your boy TeflonJohn signing off, saying one love, be blessed. But take time, tune in to Teflon Radio. You can download the app on Google Play and the Apple iTunes Store. And it's hip hop and R&B 24/7. Be on the lookout. We got the Teflon in the Morning, Real Talk with Teflon in the Morning show with my beautiful co-host, Tamla Harris. Tammy, 48 Forward, Tam as I Am will be my co-host. And we're going to get it in. We're going to bring out that content. As I always say, one love, but it's your choice to be blessed.